Hello from Safonovo. This is a podcast Pigeon of Peace where we do discuss awesome skills of troubleshooters. Watch, listen, and check the description below for the details. Let's talk about forensics and let's start with the definition.
Forensic it's a bunch of science and theories which help criminalists to find the person who was attempting or was done some kind of crime. And has a lot of different things inside. For example, it is about blood spots, it is about ballistic, it is about rehearsal, it is about manipulation, social engineering, and so on. So there are a lot of people inside who are responsible for different things. For example, there exist people which are dealing just with car brakes or with some boats movement or with animals, for example, and so on.
And when we actually try to, look into the specific case, so how do we approach to the scene? Like, how do we define the scene? How do we maybe secure the perimeter? And what should be our thinking in order to keep everything as it was when the crime was committed?
I will give you an example. I was working as a head of security in Ukraine, and suddenly it was a request from my colleague from another bank, which has a building in the middle of the city on the crowded street, and he told me that his owner or his bank owner get an demand by the written letter in envelope that some information would be exposed if he wouldn't pay some huge money in time. And he told me, if it is possible, I know you are familiar with some technology and so on. And this was like, I don't know, like maybe 70 or something like this year old person, and he told me, I will give you all the access. And I told him, I do not need any access. If I would be caught, then please be on the hand to help me. And then I used several equipment, and I was mounting on the crowd street by the wall into the window. Then I jumped into the cabinet. Then I switched off the alarm system, and then I brute-forced password for the computer of the person which I was suspecting. And then I showed him that the origin of this file was saving on this computer. And it's take me like in total maybe 10 hours. Yes, it was a hard job, but I was well rewarded. And when we were talking about, he was asking how you deal with this, and I told him I was working as a forensic. First, I was using so-called silk powder. I put this on the envelope and on the paper, and also on the post stamp, which was leaked by the tongue. So I found some spots of human liquid, and it was women's. Then I was thinking how this letter was written, and it could be written by the person who was quite enough close to the body from one side, but from another, she were well aware about financial operations. And when we asked this woman to come, and when she saw just several person and this envelope and this paper, and she immediately give us full confession, and it was quite funny. Sometimes I am thinking why I wouldn't film it, but from another point of view, I have a superstitious. My father was a military pilot, and he was never agreed to make photos before the flight.
Well, yeah, sometimes superstitious can help. And when we deep dive into the forensics, and we do know like there are different categories, and let's say we already arrived at the crime scene, so sometimes we may not have like enough equipment, or some of the clues might be, let's say, time sensitive. Maybe it's like a heat or any other things. So how we should act to at least, like maybe preserve certain percentage of the information so that it could be used, or maybe like we choose a different way and like preserve not so much, but it will be enough to proceed with another clues.
Several times I was on the crime scene with computer crimes, and each time, everything was dependent from my mood. If you are like, let me remind how it's the name for the hounds, dogs which hunt bears. It's okay? Hounds.
Could be hounds, yes.
Hounds. If you are a hound, if you are in hound mood, maybe you will see something. Several months ago, I was summoned by the phone to see it was a computer crime, and we were checking some data for railway company. It's okay to say railway company?
Railway company, yes.
Railway company, and I was talking to the system administrator, and I was saying, okay, let's check this area and this area and this area, and this person was very tired and he was under pressure because two owners were just saying very angry words, and I was listening this, and then I told him, please, let's also check some equipment, because we have done some things, we have saved some information, but to be sure we should check every corner of this virtual space. And then we found what I was looking for. It was erasing process, and 47% of the RAID information were trying to be erased. And if we will not note this, maybe operation will finish in 2 days, and the company would again lose all the data. And it was like a moment of truth. I don't know how to say. Leap of belief, прыжок правды.
Leap of faith, yes.
Leap of faith, thank you, leap of faith. And everyone was saying, okay, it was the one reason why we ask you to
Well,
come.
yes. Sometimes one step actually could be very significant in order to move everything forward. And sometimes, let's say, if we deal someone who is more sophisticated or not, but maybe just like using different tricks, they might be having like a false clues, so that at least like it give you the wrong lead. That means the time will be lost, and you will not really find the exact traces. So how to be prepared for that? And again, maybe this is the speculation, and usually most of the people do everything in rush and don't think like it twice. But if there's something intentionally or unintentionally created by the criminal person, so how we should sort whether it's a good or not really useful for us.
You should think like a criminal. If to solve problem, you should be a problem by itself. It's a joke for sure, or it's pun intended. It's okay to say pun intended
It's
as
pun
you
intended.
teach me. To touch me. Okay. Then it was a situation with some amount of data were stolen from my bank, and it was everything was pointing on one person. It was head of IT, and his name was Vadim. And when I was talking with him, I was suddenly realized I suddenly realized that he has not enough competence, he has not enough skill to do this, because he was unable to enter database and to write the select which I asked him to do. So he was quite polite, and he was trying, but he was distressed, and he even couldn't understand that it was far beyond his abilities. And then I was thinking, okay, but who could do this? And just 3 more people could do this. And then I was talking with each of them, and 2 of them at this time were on the lunch. So just one person who was able to steal the data was in according to the door opening system in the building. And when I showed this information to this person, his name was Anatoly, he confessed and told, yes, that was me. So sometimes you should think who are able to do this. For example, to come into the cage with the tiger. It was a case when tiger was stolen in Vladivostok area. Or for example, you should know who could spoil some milk bacteria, who has access, and also who could take garbage from the office because information which comes to the newspaper was outdated.
And well, sometimes there could be like a obvious signs of, like crime or, like obvious objects, but there also probably might be situations when, like we can get the clues from maybe different sources. For example, like if we would get, let's say, access to the router, we would see that some device connected, or maybe some IoT devices also could have this information, or maybe, I don't know, like in vacuum cleaner, there could be different colors and different length of the colors, or maybe even in the trash, there could be something that would indicate on something. So how we should approach to, like looking into the sin and maybe, like trying to go far beyond or maybe even add another dimension to our forensics.
Yeah, sometimes you should be paranoid, and you should be able to imagine even imaginable. It was a time when I found that some tellers in the cashier's hall in the bank were making some mistakes. For example, they were given to the clients euros or dollars instead of hryvnias. And when I came to them, I saw the camera and I saw they were dealing as usual. And then we installed some camera to see who is the client, because usually in the bank, all views of the camera, all angles of the camera are pointed to the hands. And you see the desk, you see the hands, and yes, you see some part of the head, but you never see the client. And it was a gypsy hypnosis. And when I told to this girl who was trying to make maybe fourth operation, I told her, okay, I will never catch you. I will never say anything, but please show how you do right now. And I asked the most experienced girl to sit on the desk. And she was smiling. And then Gypsy was trying to talk to her. And I was maybe 1 meter away from this. And I saw that this gypsy was asking to give her several dollars, and this girl give without any papers. And then I told, okay, we have a lot of your video, so we have already 4 cases, and right now on the video I will say my promise not to catch you if you will never came to our bank again. But I was just 2 times in the life was seeing such a powerful such a powerful people. Or for example, another one. It was a case when you, for example, build a bank, as I was building, I don't know how to say, safe room. It's okay, storage room, vault. How to
Bold.
say? Vault. Yes, we were building a vault. This is like in a film, huge round metal. I don't know how to say. Look,
Door. It could be
door.
called door.
Huge one. And then when you build this door, you should ask for so-called qualified robbery. And there is a formula. If those people will break you, for example, your vault for 1 hour, it would be one level protection, or one stage. If they, for example, would spend 9 hours, it's the highest protection. And we built Swiss-made, very expensive, huge vault. Then I was also a bit tricky, and I moved all electric sockets from this space, so there were no lamp and no plugins, just in case. And we asked people to come, and they came just with 3 bags for 2 person. They were using no smoke, no electricity, and they break our vault for 6 hours. Yes, it was worse case, but anyway, we got 6 level of degree, and then I was trying several times to ask them how they did it, and they say we will never say. But you see, now it's open. The same was, for example, with my flat. It was open like in a moment, and also it was with my car Audi A7 Q7. Sorry, it was open up. I don't know, like for 2 seconds without any key.
Well, yeah, sometimes people who actually know how the stuff works can use it for different purposes. And given that we actually live in more like a digital age, sometimes, let's say, all of the forensics could be, or, like things that could blame or set us up could be generated not by us, but, like by someone else, so that, like we may be turned to be blamed. So how to protect and how to, like when we're doing the forensic, figure out that something was fakely generated, whether it's us, whether it's our business, whether it's, like our customers or clients. So how to identify the stuff, or maybe even prevent this stuff to be appearing.
You wouldn't believe, but maybe 1 hour before our conversation and our recording, it was a letter which came to School of Troubleshooters from law company, which located, I don't know, like maybe 20 meters from my place. And this was letter you using for the article had photo which was produced by very famous photographist, and you should pay us 100,000 rubles, or will go to the court. And you know better than us that it would cost you a lot. And then I was trying to find, okay, what is this photo? And I found in the internet, like this photo was posted for several thousand times. Yes, sometimes there is a name on it, but it's a kind of fraud. And the same also, I have friends in Kiev, and it was time they were trying to create several cryptocurrencies, and we were creating YouTube channel. It was named iTuber, and this was also like a letter from Google by itself from the USA that Google will give a letter of attorney. It's okay? Letter of attorney to some unknown lawyer that he could collect money if someone used a name like iTube and YouTube and something like this. And we just sent to this person a letter. Okay, if you are so cool, then we also already signed a paper with a third London law company. If you could beat them, okay, try it.
And then my last question will be how knowing about forensics could help to make this world a better place.
It's funny, but sometimes you could use forensic even in your family. I have wife, I have daughter, I have sister, and I have a mother. And those four women sometimes do some small crimes, and they try to cheat me in different directions, in different purposes. And sometimes I could understand what they do because I know some forensic. But okay, I will never show and will tell them that I know the truth.
And we review the skill of forensics and how it could be helpful for you. Stay in peace.